Hello, and welcome to Magical Ascension. We are so pleased that you have decided to listen to our casual lecture on Hermetics and general occultism. If you like these topics, hit that like button and please make sure to subscribe because every subscription and like counts. We are trying to hit 100 subscribers, so please, if you can do that for us, we would be forever indebted to you. Now, on this discussion, we're going to be talking about Hermetics. And by we, I mean me, because right now I am alone. So, the all is mind, the universe is mental, the Kabbalion. This is a Hermetic axiom that has stuck with me for many years. The implications behind these words are massive, because it is straight up telling you that the nature and secret of reality consists of everything inside of your head, because everything is mind. Your entire environment, your entire physicality, your entire reality is the mind regurgitated into physical form. I'll give you a moment to digest those words because that's quite a lot to take in. What does all that mean, though? Well, I'm so glad that you have thought that question and I can answer that for you. This all means that we are living in a universe, a reality, a plane of existence, if you will, that reacts in subtle and sometimes very dramatic ways to the thoughts and vibrations of your emotions, and it reacts and gets evoked into your physical environment so that you can interact with them, or you can see what really is inside of you that you are repressing. Everything is mind. Everything is mental. We only use 10% of the mind, scientists say. What is the other 90% doing? It's running the show. That's a little bit of a scary thought. The fact that 90% of your brain capacity you have no control over unless you're clever. That's pretty insane to think about. Let's go back to this axiom and delve more deeply into it. The all is mind. The universe is mental. What is the all? The all is the all. The all is God. The all cannot exist outside of the all, or else it will not be the all. So, after pondering this axiom, I have obtained gnosis upon the reality of the all. It is my belief that we are inside the mind of a massive being, an unknowable entity that we cannot bear to comprehend, for it is beyond comprehension. And the three initiates of the Kabbalion have said, do not bother with such silliness because it's a waste of time. However, I feel the opposite is true. I feel you should do everything you can to understand the all. Not so much as what it looks like, but just what it is. If you've ever looked at pictures of neurons and the galaxy, you'll find they look one and the same. That which is above is like that which is below, and that which is below is like that which is above, to obtain the miracles of the one thing. This is a very potent axiom, because it is talking about planes of correspondences as well, which is a Hermetic principle, the law of correspondence. I will not delve into all the laws of Hermetics, for then our channel will be lacking content for some time. So anyways, moving on, let's dive deep, hopefully that isn't copyrighted, into some of the laws of Hermetics. Specifically, the axiom I have just quoted. Human is God in microcosmic form. We are all a living, breathing avatar of divinity, and the Divine Pymander, written sometime in the 15th century, which blew the minds away of everyone back then who thought it was made in the age of antiquity. They thought the Corpus Hermetica was made by Hermes Trismegistus, and perhaps it was. However, they thought they thought that the Corpus Hermetica, the Divine Pymander, was much more ancient than it truly is. So they thought it had more merit. That's not actually the case, because if you really, really look at the Corpus Hermetica, the Divine Pymander, I've listened to an audiobook of it once, so I have to do it about maybe like 199 more times. But one of the things it says is that God, mind, because it's called mind, is male-female. Very massive implications, and very groundbreaking stuff as well. Because the Christian God, the patriarchal God, is male. However, God had a wife at one point in time, but they got rid of her to make Christianity become a patriarchal religion. I feel because of sexism. Every single religion has had male and female as the heads of the pantheon, as the heads of divinity and creation as a whole. They even have this in Norse mythology. They have Odin and Frigga, also known as Freya. So there's a debate there if Frigga and Freya are like different goddesses, if they're one and the same. I feel they are one and the same. So every single mythology and religion, all of it, they always have male and female. Because it's the active, the masculine, with the passive, the feminine. And a lot of people get the whole gender thing very mixed up and cause great controversy over nothing. It's simply active and passive, and what it really is the spheres of the brain, the left brain and the right brain. That's what it is. Because if I remember correctly, the left brain is the practical, rational, very linear, direct force of masculinity. That's your left brain is the masculine. The right brain controls the creativity, the emotions, I believe, and also it's the feminine. And oddly enough, or rather coincidentally enough, magic is done through the unification of both. I'll give you an example. I'm a ceremonial magician, and the ceremony is an elaborate play, drama, if you will, to really get my subconscious mind on board that I am doing something grandiose, that I am calling forth a spirit of the nether regions to make conversation and to go, just I am conjuring forth this ancient entity that has been awaiting my call, and I am going to constrain you with the words of God. And, it gets all very dramatic, and, you rise into a frenzy once you really, truly have your heart in it. Because what you're really doing is that you are tricking yourself into achieving a dissociative dream-like state known as theta, which is the state of mind that strongly resonates with the right hemisphere of the brain, the creative, the passive, the feminine. So, what you're doing is using your logical brain to set up the play. You use your logical brain, the male brain. Please do not misconstrue my words of male being male. It's just, bear with me. So, you're using your male brain to do things such as research. Because the left hemisphere, the left side of your brain is very, very active in doing all the research, the logical, the putting things in order, rational. That's what your left brain does. So when you do things like study, and then you memorize all of the formulae and everything of how you have to put, different types of incense, for the different types of spirits you're going to work with, all of the homework is left brain. So it comes in real handy. But without your right side of the brain, without the crucial feminine portion of your brain, magic cannot be done. And it is through the marriage of these two forces is when you achieve the miracle of the one thing. Because if you want to look at it as above, so below, you can look at it as the male portion of the brain is the below. Actually, I'm going to go with that. And if I'm proven wrong during this course of this casual lecture, I will correct myself. So, the left part of your brain is the below because it is the world of practicality. It's your physical environment. And then the above is the crucial feminine part of your brain, the right part of your brain, where it's all the wonder and the mystery of the universe and the cosmos, and is there life outside of this firmament? Sort of those questions and those things that really have gotten the philosophers of antiquity to just become so enthralled with life. And they did it through observing the heavens. So that is what I believe it is. And true to Hermetics, you are using law against law to do a transmutation. And I actually have the Kabbalion on hand because I wanted to read this one quote that will corroborate with my words. I need to find it, so bear with me. It is right Can't find it. I wasn't very prepared because I got on a kick and I started flowing, you know? So if I can find it, great. If I can't, I'm moving on. So this is a casual lecture regardless. And I'm not going to really care that much. Anyways, I'm not going to really waste any time trying to find it and thus waste your time. So, what you're doing is an act of transmutation. You're using law against law. And it's also going with, the planes of correspondence. Because you are using a lesser law to do an act of transmutation, which is magic. Damn, I really wanted to read that, because that was a good one. That was a very good quote. And I had the book open too, and I closed it, because I was like, ooh, I can do this. Alright. Yeah, that's disheartening. Sorry. I basically just channel everything that I'm doing anyways. Everything I want to say. So I kind of don't need to have this anyway. But, yeah, it was just very interesting. I wish I could have read that to you. But, moving on. So, essentially, with the quote, I was trying and fumbling, actually, and wasted, damn near good 2 minutes. It was saying something about, the master uses law against law. So, it's to transmutate things and make your situation better. So, the law of rhythm can be used against the law of, polarity, for instance, and the law of, correspondence can be used against, other laws. So, I had a really fascinating thing, and it actually, interestingly enough, very much was in line with what I was going to say. So, anyways, I wish not to waste any more time, and I will get this train moving again. So, yeah. Anyways, in Ceremonial Magick, you have to use a bunch of things, such as robes and incense, and you have to memorize certain formulae. All that stuff is it's a massive drama and a play to really get yourself into the magical state of mind. It's to just really tell yourself, I am doing something impressive and I am going to create changes onto my physical reality by using the art and science of will and spirit. That's what you're doing. The major downfall to magic is not believing. Because everything is mind, everything is mental. If you do not believe that magic is real, magic isn't real to you. So it's like, if you don't actually believe in magic, what's the point of doing it? The thing that you have to do when you do the conjurations and do a spell is not to mouth the words emptily. It's to just really, really fully believe in the things that you're doing. Have full faith and put all of your emotions into the thing that you're doing, because you will reap the benefits 10 to 100 folds. If you just mimic the conjuration and like read off of it and all that kind of stuff, you're not going to really receive any results at all. Maybe lukewarm at best, but you're not going to see anything done. Because you need to truly believe in magic and truly put all your heart and soul and emotion into everything you're doing, and you will achieve miracles. Whether you know it or not, you can achieve quite a lot. You can do extraordinary things, and it's just a secret because you're taught from a very early age that magic doesn't exist. That's further from the truth. So, anyways, I'm trying to remember what I was saying before I started fumbling over myself. Oh yes, I believe I was saying along the lines of like the brain is being like on the left brain is masculine and the right brain is feminine. And that's also what you have to remember is Mercury is the unification of the masculine and the feminine. And Hermes Trismegistus is exactly that. Because Hermes united the masculine and the feminine. Hermes is the master. What's Hermes? Mercury. Hermes is Mercury. The planetary energy that is Mercury. Oh, here we go. Yes, I found the quote. Haha, victory. Finally. It only took a good 5 minutes. So, anyways, it's the divine paradox, and I wish I had this 5 minutes ago, but moving on. It says, the half-wise, recognizing the comparative unreality of the universe, imagine that they may defy its laws. Such are vain and presumptuous fools, and they are broken against the rocks and torn asunder by the elements by reason of their folly. The truly wise, knowing the nature of the universe, use law against laws, the higher against the lower, and by the art of alchemy, transmute that which is undesirable into that which is worthy, and thus triumph. Mastery consists not in abnormal dreams, visions, and fantastic imaginings, or living, but in using the higher forces against the lower, escaping the pains of the lower planes by vibrating on the higher. Transmutation, not presumptuous denial, is the weapon of the master. Ah, that is the quote I have searched for. So, I wanted to use this quote when I was talking about ceremonial magic because many, if not most, ceremonial magicians work with the goetic spirits, the goetic demons, if you will, of King Solomon, of the Ars Goetia. So, also, they will work with the angels of the Shemha Mepharash, of the Greater Key of Solomon. Now, Dr. Thomas Rudd, because I remember names, is, or was, one of the most fascinating minds, I believe, because he put together, or he kind of like knew that the 72 angels of the Shemha Mepharash are very interlinked with the 72 goetic demons of the Goetia. You know why, right? It's because the angels of the Shemha Mepharash are the higher the highest vibration of that goetic spirit. This is a fascinating and intriguing discovery that I have came across about an hour ago. The fact that, like, in ceremonial magic, you're using law against law. I was doing all of these things without knowing that, essentially. Consciously. Subconsciously, I did. So, the angel is the higher, the goetic is the lower. So, what you're doing is this. The higher against the lower, and by the art of alchemy, transmute that which is undesirable into that which is worthy, and thus triumph. You are transforming that goetic spirit, that very lower vibration, the lowest emanation of the all, into its highest vibration that it can achieve, which is the angel of the Shem HaMephorash, which is the 72-fold name of the Tetragrammaton, the Yod He Vav He. That's exactly what you're doing. And this is the reason why these two energies are so perfectly interlinked. They are each other's mirror. They are each other's divine reflection. The angel and the demon are one in the same. So, that is what you're doing in ceremonial magic. When you're working with the Goetia, when you're working with angels, you are using law against law because you are becoming wise. Unless, of course, you don't use angels and you don't bind demons, then you are truly unwise. And I have done that. And I damn near lost my mind, and I don't quite want to talk about it, but it's very dangerous to do. And very addictive, because the power that they kind of will tempt you with is it's a lot. So the demons, when they're unbound, are very much like a live wire, and it's extraordinarily dangerous to deal with them if they're unbound. And I'm surprised I came out with my sanity intact. At least I feel like I did. So anyways, I will leave you off with this. The 7 classical planets of antiquity are the 7 archetypal sea archon, archetypal forces in the mind of the all. These are the 7 planetary personalities that make up human. Because if you remember that human is made in the image of God, the all, we are made in the image of God. We are the microcosmic of the macrocosmic, as above from below. So, these 7 planets that reside, these wandering stars, because that's the name of planet, these 7 wandering stars that dwell in the heavens and the firmament. And no, I'm not a flat earther, but I am an occultist and a mystic. So, these 7 classical planets that reside in the firmament, they dwell inside of us as well. They dwell in our psyche, in the subconscious recesses of our mind. We are made up of the forces of the sun, the moon, the earth, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus. We are made up of all those energies. And you can truly see it as well. I mean, those that are extraordinarily wealthy, but extremely greedy, are made up of the energies of Jupiter. But that greediness, that heartlessness, I believe, is a lack of the Venus energy. So, all of us are made up of the energies of the 7 classical planets of antiquity. We all are made up of it. And we dwell inside the mind of an unknowable entity. We are all an egregore of this entity, of this God, and we go through life in a waking, lucid dream. It's very comforting to know that everything, all the planets, all of life, animal kingdom, all the kingdoms, everything is all interconnected and woven so beautifully and perfect that there is no separation. You and me are the same. We are one. Whether you know it or not, it does not matter. We are all divine reflections of the One. Source, God, the All, whatever you wish to call it. We are all one. Everyone you encounter in your travels is a reflection of you in some form or another. It could be things that you love about yourself. It could be things you hate about yourself. It could be things that you are absolutely indifferent about yourself. It could be repressions about yourself. It could be expressions of yourself that you truly do appreciate, or things that are just difficult. So you really have to ponder the people you meet in your life, and why did they come in your life, and what are they trying to teach you. And that's something I have a hard time on. It's a very difficult thing, admittedly, for me as well. So there's some times where I'll be like, this person came in my life to give me this message, or it's always like a one-off thing. Usually, like, my partner and I, like, we're gonna go off somewhere, and this guy who very much looked like Odin just told us that we have a low air in our left tire. We filled it up, and yes, she got a flat tire a few days later because her tire needs to be changed. But if it wasn't for that divine reflection, who knows what could have happened, because he very may have well saved us from an accident. You never know. Anyways, I feel that this has gone on long enough, and I will leave you to ponder some of the meanings of the words I have spoken. So if you like this video, please leave a comment down below. And I deeply apologize for taking an embarrassing long time to find that quote. I just started free-flowing and channeling any sort of message that I wanted to give to an audience that wishes to hear me. So, if you prefer casual type of lectures, ones that don't go on for an hour and a half, I don't have the energy to do that quite yet. Consider subscribing, and please do subscribe. And if this video does well, there will be many more to come, depending on my mood and my energy levels. So, to all those divine and fractal reflections, I will encounter you at some other point in time.